Inflation has become a bit of a four-letter word for folks everywhere, but where's it going? What do we need to know? Joined today by Patrick Finn from VanEck to discuss. Patrick, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Patrick, inflation has skyrocketed a bit. Where do we stand right now?
Yeah, it's an interesting time. We were early to advising our clients that inflation will be an issue. And we feel now, we saw recently 8.3 on the most recent inflation print. We think that's going to stay elevated for a while, frankly. It's very hard to pinpoint exactly the path, but the takeaway that we're saying, inflation is here to stay, and even though it may come down, we're in a new regime, and that's the key that we want to get out to our investors. Inflation is going to be something that we're going to be dealing with for a while.
So if inflation is here to stay, what does this mean for your portfolio, especially if you're someone that's nearing retirement?
Yeah, it's a great thought, and realistically, we found inflation-fighting assets are underrepresented in most of our clients' portfolios. The solution that we've come up with is to think about things holistically from the perspective of the old playbook was tips, gold perhaps are the classic inflation-fighting assets. But we want to go a step beyond. And so this particular fund, our inflation allocation fund, invests in everything from MLPs and diversified commodities all the way to oil equities, traditional gold mining companies, et cetera. So we're really kind of running the gamut of inflation protection assets.
So by taking this more diversified approach to fighting inflation, how is it better for the investor?
Well, the net result is we are able to provide return in different environments. So what we've seen is inflation rising and certain asset classes perform differently than when inflation is high but falling. And that's really sort of the key here, is this particular fund is managing that risk to say, in this environment, perhaps this mix of assets works, whereas as we start to abate down to where we think we'll settle in, somewhere in the 5-ish% range, we're going to see a different mix of assets work. So that's the benefit here, is we get to do some of that work determining where we want to be.
It's really smart because not all inflation is made equal here, right?
Right, and that's the key here, is there's certain periods of time where gold is a great place to be, and other periods of time perhaps better served by REITs, by way of example. And I think that's really the key too, is it's not just about this point in time, but it's about managing through the future, and that's what this fund is trying to do.
Managing through the future. Patrick, thanks so much, some great insights.
Appreciate it, thank you.
Hey, for Edge TV, I'm Matt Ackermann.